it looks like DLC 5 is coming to Black Ops 6 Zombies. After all these years of us speculating about a 5th DLC Zombies map in Black Ops 2, 3, 4, even Cold War, and now in Black Ops 6, it seems like this game is going to be the one to get it. Following the schedule of content that we are on right now, we are currently on DLC 2, which has arrived extremely early. Normally, we would be on DLC 1 right now, meaning because Black Ops 6 still has 4 seasons left, we would have to wait an awfully long time from this point on between Zombies maps, and I'm talking like 3+ months, 3 months of no Zombies maps, which just doesn't make sense. And so to fill in that time gap, it seems like Treyarch are going to be giving us one extra DLC Zombies map compared to what we would usually get, giving us a total of 5. The Ghost of Hope, who was a very credible leaker over on Twitter, just said this the other day: there is 3 round-based Zombies maps left for Black Ops 6 Zombies. One of the future seasons will not have one. Black Ops 6 Zombies will end with 7 round-based Zombies maps at the end of its life cycle. I have heard that the maps from this year's game may carry forward to this year's Black Ops game, basically saying BO6's Zombies maps may carry forward into Black Ops 7 Zombies, which is rumoured to be the name of this year's title in 2025, coming out in probably October, November time. So we've got 2 huge revelations here, one being that we are getting 3 more Zombies maps, and 2, there is a possibility all of the maps we have in BO6 might carry forward into Black Ops 7. In regards to that, he did say that only one source is saying that to him so far, but he wouldn't doubt it. So it's far from confirmed, but a reputable source is saying it. What that does tell me is that perhaps Black Ops 7 is very similar in mechanics and features to BO6, which, considering how close the games are together, Black Ops 6 is a Treyarch game, Black Ops 7 is also going to be a Treyarch game, at least when it comes to Zombies. Of course, other developers are going to be helping out as well, such as Raven. But with 2 Treyarch Zombies games releasing one after another, you would expect the 2 to be very similar to Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. Just in my opinion, MW3 is an improved version of Modern Warfare 2, but the base mechanics, the base features and how it feels to play aren't all that different. So the vibes I'm getting from this, what I would expect, is it more to be Black Ops 6 2.0 or 1.5, whatever you want to call it. Pretty much the same base game, just with its issues being fixed and new content. But how it feels, the core mechanics, surely will have to be the same, simply because Treyarch haven't had enough time to change it all that much. This tells me that Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7 will be very similar in how they play. And that could also be the reason why they're thinking of making maps carry forward. If it's only had 1+ year development time, then you would think they also wouldn't have had enough time to develop a good amount of content for it. Either that or the standard won't be as high. You could make 2 small, lesser quality round-based maps compared to 1 bigger, higher quality one. But to make sure the game doesn't feel empty and to give fans one more reason to buy it, having all of the Black Ops 6 Zombies maps carry forward into the game so that you've got 7 additional maps to play in it would be a smart move. And it also means the small differences in BO7 compared to Black Ops 6 would make the gameplay of those maps a little bit different as well. If BO7 has a different armored system or some additional perk machines that Black Ops 6 doesn't have, that would give you a different way to play those maps. Similar to what we saw in Zombies Chronicles, Treyarch could also add in a new Easter egg in each one of the maps, which wouldn't be too difficult for them to do, which again would give you more incentive to play them because they're not simply copy and paste, or they are, just with some minor improvements and differences. I don't think it's the ideal situation, but it's better than nothing, right? It is essentially Zombies Chronicles 2. If alongside that, Treyarch could return some older maps from Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, maybe BO4. Now, that would be amazing, but with how old those games are and how different they feel to Black Ops 6, I feel like a simple copy and paste wouldn't be viable. They'd essentially have to do what they did with the original Zombies Chronicles and rebuild those maps from the ground up, whereas Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7 will essentially be and feel like very similar games. So taking Black Ops 6's maps and putting them on Black Ops 7, it's going to feel like they belong on that game anyway. That also worries me for BO7 and rings alarm bells. You should be saying, hang on, this is essentially telling us that this is a rushed game. It's probably not going to be of super high quality, but with the state of Call of Duty and what's been going on with this series for the past few years, it's not surprising. At this point, we've kind of come to accept it, so I'll take it, just because that's Call of Duty now. You either play it or you don't. So yeah, there is potential that Black Ops 6's Zombies maps will be carrying over to Black Ops 7, which could mean on day 1 we could end up with like 8 or 9 Zombies maps. That could then mean we get less over its DLC lifecycle, but talking about Black Ops 6's DLC lifecycle, DLC 5, if you'd asked me a few months ago at the start of this game, are we going to be getting a 5th DLC Zombies map in Black Ops 6, I would have said no chance. But now that we had DLC 1 in December and we've had DLC 2 in January, the likelihood of us seeing a DLC 5 has increased 100%, because assuming Treyarch continue on with this same pattern, that would mean we get DLC 3 in Season 3, DLC 4 in Season 4, and that would mean in Season 5 and 6, we get no new Zombies map. That doesn't make sense. So like I said, Treyarch either leave a huge gap and don't release DLC 3 until Season 4, which would be about 4 months away, or 3, however long it is, I'd have to double check, but it's a long time to wait. Or they continue on with what they've been doing. We get the next Zombies map in Season 3, we get another one in Season 4, and we also get another one in Season 5 or 6. And when you remember how long they had to develop this game, 4 years, and then you take your minds back to Black Ops 4, for example, BO4 had 3 years of development time, and we had 4 Zombies maps on day 1. BO6 had 4 years of development time, and we only had 2 Zombies maps on day 1. I think Citadel Day More and The Tomb were pretty much ready to release on day 1 of BO6 back in November, but Treyarch held them off for Season 1 and 2, and during that time, during the time where they would have been making those maps, they've actually spent it developing DLC 3, DLC 4, both which are now in late development stages, leaving them months and months and months to create an extra Zombies map, which is DLC 5. And if you look at The Tomb, I really hate to use this as an excuse because I don't quite think it's valid, but I could see why people are saying it. It does feel like a filler map, where Treyarch have gone, okay, because we're going to release a 5th Zombies map, The Tomb in terms of content and fulfillingness is going to be minimal, because you're going to get that in the form of an extra map anyway. I mean, that shouldn't be the case. Every Zombies map that releases should be a proper Zombies map, because otherwise you then end up with the situation that we are in right now, where people are just losing interest in BO6 Zombies. But for some weird reason, that could be Treyarch's thinking. I don't believe they thought The Tomb was a filler map. I just think people are thinking that because there's no other explanation other than the fact that, well, this is just the standard of modern day Zombies maps. There's not really any consistency between them. The Tomb is the standard of most Treyarch Zombies maps now. And proof of that is this other tweet from the Ghost of Hope, where somebody asked him, is the mansion, which is the next Zombies map, DLC 3, is that map being small based on something he's heard or just a guess? And he replied back, I've heard it's like the Tomb / Liberty Falls, but mainly just a guess. So just in case you weren't aware, the rumours are that DLC 3, the mansion, will also be like the Tomb and Liberty Falls in terms of its size and complexity, its detail, Easter eggs, the amount of content in it. It's going to be yet another confined experience, a small Zombies map, which, again, I'm fine with as long as the quality is high. We've always had small maps in Zombies, going back to the very beginning, but that doesn't mean they have to be bad. They can be some of the best. However, as of late, it does seem like Treyarch are struggling to achieve that best part, and we are getting maps that are small and simple, as well as being just bad or average at best. So the mansion being similar to the Tomb and Liberty Falls doesn't have to be a bad thing, but knowing the state of COD Zombies now, it very well could be. If you look at the bigger maps that we've got in Black Ops 6 so far, Citadel, Day More and The Tomb, I personally don't rate Citadel. A lot of people do, but Tomb specifically, I think it's the best map in Black Ops 6 Zombies, and I also think is one of the better maps we've had in COD Zombies. So knowing that The Tomb was a small map, DLC 3 is also going to be a small map, that could be yet another reason why we're going to be getting a 5th DLC map, because Treyarch have just had the time that they wouldn't normally get to make it. As to what DLC 5 is going to be, I couldn't begin to guess. I really can't begin to tell you how the storyline in this game is going to end, which would normally give you a hint to the map. We do know that this is a prequel to Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, and in that game, Weaver, Carver, Gray and Strauss all die. We see them sitting dead around the table, so we are eventually going to lead up to that in this game or the beginning of the next one. I would think in this one though, we know they died in 1996, we are currently in 1991, so we are still 5 years off them dying, which is a long time. We don't seem to be skipping that amount of time in Black Ops 6 Zombies. We're going a few days or weeks at most, so taking that into consideration, it may actually be that Weaver, Carver, Gray and Strauss die in Black Ops 7, or maybe DLC 5. Perhaps the time jump between DLC 4 and 5 will be 5 years, taking us to their death. Or maybe we just never actually get to witness it ourselves and play that event out in game. It just happens in the storyline and we'll see it through cutscenes or in a radio. But it does seem more and more likely now that we will be getting a 5th DLC map, either in Season 5 or Season 6. Next, in DLC 3, we are going to Richtofen's mansion. In DLC 4, we are going to Janus Towers. And then in DLC 5, we don't have a clue where we're going, because up until now, we thought we were only getting the 4 maps. So what DLC 5 is going to be about, where it's going to be, we don't yet know. And just before I finish, the other thing to bear in mind as we move on to Black Ops 7 is we know from leaks that in BO7, we will be playing once again as Richtofen, Takeo, Nikolai, and Dempsey. Those characters will return, but it won't be the premise versions, it won't be the Ultimates versions, it will be a new version of them. an older version compared to what we've seen previously. Now, how any of that's going to work in the storyline, or why Trog even decided they were going to bring them back in the first place, besides from Weaver, Carver, Gray and Strauss dying, besides from our current cast of characters being killed off, Trog were always going to have to find a new cast of characters for us to play as, but it didn't have to be Richtofen, Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey. They could have just created new ones, but according to these leaks, they've decided they're going to bring them back, which is exciting, but also I'm super interested to know the reason why. I thought they wanted to leave all of that behind when they killed off the Ether storyline at the end of Black Ops 4. Even though little things of it have started to leak back from the Dark Ether, we haven't really heard any mentions at all of Nikolai, Takeo, Dempsey, even Richtofen. I'm talking about his Primus or Ultimus versions. Richtofen is still one of the main characters in Black Ops 6 Zombies, but those four as a crew, it felt like Trog were trying to distance themselves from and tell a new storyline with a new set of characters, but now they want to bring them back. Why do they feel this new storyline isn't taking off as they would have hoped? It isn't as successful as the old storyline? I'm not sure, but that also could have an effect on what we see happen in DLC 5, considering Richtofen, Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey are, according to the leaks, returning in the next game. So there we go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hopefully you've enjoyed the video today. If you have, drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.